This tutorial will walk you through finding books for children. So they're books that you might use in your class, from picture books to young adult books, but that are at the level for a K-12 audience of children. So I start out at the catalog, and I'm just going to do a search. I'm thinking about looking for alphabet books for a kindergartner. So I type in my term, and I just kept it really simple, but I'm going to do quite a bit to use my results, to narrow down the results to just what I want. So rather than searching everything and getting all the articles that are in Search at UW, I know that what I want is books. So I'm going to zero in on the books and media at UWSP, things that we have access to, and redo the search. So now I've got a little over 1,000 results, but these would be books at all levels, or maybe books about the alphabet, but not necessarily books for children. I can see right away that there is one, but it's a mix. So I'm going to zero in a little more, and if I want to go to the 3rd floor of the library, to the Instructional Materials Center, which is a K-12 collection, I can use the location limiters to zero in on that K-12 collection. So I'm going to click on that, and now I have a list of books from the K-12 collection that either might be used by a teacher with children or by a teacher for putting a lesson plan together. Right away I see one, Gone Wild. If I want to learn more about that because I'm interested in it, I can click on it. And then for children's books especially, if you scroll down, they almost always have a pretty good description of what's there, what goes on, and what the book is about. And you might look at the limiters. I can see that alphabet books is a limiter. So I'm using the right term. It's not ABCs, it's alphabet. And in addition, you'll notice when you look at children's books that after the topics, the subjects, there'll be a subheading or a subtopic of juvenile literature, sometimes juvenile fiction. Juvenile literature is informational, so it's nonfiction books for children. Juvenile fiction is just like what it sounds, more like storybooks for children. So you can make use, knowing those words can be important in your searching. If you want to get your hands on this book, you'll notice that the location is that IMC on the 3rd floor, and then you have a call number that you can use. In the IMC, a big portion of the books begin with the call number P, and those are almost all children's literature books. So they're fiction storybooks for kids, from picture books to young adult books. The other books that are not stories begin with the same call numbers that we use in the regular collection. So the Qs tend to be the sciences, and that this is about animals and endangered species. So it begins with Q. I can close this out. So that's finding books in the IMC. Now I know at this point many of you can't come to the IMC, that you're off campus studying virtually. So I'm going to take away this limiter that looked at the IMC, and I'm going to see if we happen to have anything that's online that you could use from elsewhere. We don't have as many online resources as we do print in children's books, but we have a few. So I can zero in on online by using that limiter. And then I can use that information that I gave you before, that if I add the word juvenile to the online, that should zero in on some of the books that are about the alphabet that are for a juvenile audience. Now, in addition to typing in that word, another hint you might do is, if you scroll down, there's a genre category. So I can get ABC books. That sounds like it would be for kids. I might see an activity book that you'd use in a lesson plan. I might see a children's picture book in this list where I could zero in on children's picture books. I might see the juvenile fiction, juvenile literature. So any of those ways to zero in on what we have online and get the ones that are for kids can work. So let's look at this. Here's a list. I see a couple right away. The ABC Bunny. I could look at that one, or maybe the ABCs of Black History. That sounds really good. I'm gonna do an online access. I could have a book that reflects the diversity of learning the alphabet. So teaching two concepts at once. Here's the book. I can download it. I can read it online. You just open it up and you can see. And as I said, we don't have a lot of these, but we have some. And you might be able to find some things that you could use that way. In addition, as you learn about books from our catalog or from the other reading that you're doing to find the books that you need, you could visit your public library. Public libraries are treasure troves of books for children. So if you go there with a list, or even just browse in their stacks and look for some of the things that they have, you might be able to supplement what we have online and is available to you with books from your public library. If you're on campus, you can also order books from other UWs. So that might be an option. Most of the UWs have a children's literature or a children's book collection that you could borrow from other libraries for books on your theme or topic. So that's finding books in the IMC. It's a small collection, easy to browse. The fiction books, the storybooks, are arranged by author, and the other books are by subject, just like all of the books that we have. So here I can find quite a few that are online that you might use, and then you can supplement those with other print. If you need help, you could use the library guide that's for your course. Contact me. I could help you try to find some things either at other UWs that we might order or from lists that are online.